Hello, and thank you for tuning back in to my Happy Little Accident mini-series. This one is my favorite accident to talk about because this is how SubstiToothFairy actually came to fruition. My name is Seta, grateful RDH and proud Harcum alumni since 2004, grateful CEO of SubstiToothFairy Dental Staffing Service since 2008. And here is my favorite happy little accident. So I received a letter in the mail, and it was a dental office that was accepting new patients. This came to my house in the mail, and I opened it, I read it, and I was like, oh, how cool. A dental office actually sent me a letter, telling us that they're accepting new patients. I looked down, and of course I read the letter because I'm all about dentistry. Read the letter, looked down at the name, and realized that this was a doctor that I had worked with in Pennsylvania. I was super excited about it, so I actually thought I would just give her a call to say, hey, congratulations. I'm really proud of you for opening your own practice. It was a great conversation we had, and she actually mentioned that her and her husband are practice owners, and they were looking for a full-time dental hygienist. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is fate. But God had bigger plans. So yes, push come to shove, I did feel taken advantage of by this friend and this moment, because what happened was they called me in, and it was a quote unquote working interview, but again, they called me in last minute, night before, and so long story short, it was me going into this office, having 20 minutes per patient, no assistant to help me. And I still tried to make the best of it. And I still tried to convince myself that this would be a great opportunity. It was 2008. It was the crash of the economy. I really wanted the security. If I wasn't so lazy, I could actually walk to this office. It was so close to home. Everything marked off the boxes for me except for 20 minutes per patient. I obviously did not have enough time to do a quality job. They did assure me, however, that I would have a dental assistant the next time to help carry me through that schedule. So practice owner sat me down, told me that someone was already hired. I asked why I was there, and they said, well, just in case we may need you in the future, and you're a really great dental hygienist. And in the moment where obviously God has bigger plans, this happy little accident became the catalyst to me actually opening SubstiToothFairy Dental Staffing Service. He told me, that practice owner told me that he understood that there was no dental staffing service and that he wanted to open one. And that he might actually have a position for me one day. So I was obviously quiet. I was very thankful. He complimented my skill. He let me know that I was very smart and possibly could run his staffing service one day. So I was really sad because I felt taken advantage of. I felt my patients were taken advantage of because I wasn't able to give the best of me, having only 20 minutes per patient. So, I also felt like in that moment, because I felt taken advantage of, and also the patients were taken advantage of, that he would quite possibly take advantage of the dental community. And that's not the reason to open a staffing service. And so I thought to myself, I've wanted to do this. I wanted to do this 2 years prior to this actual moment, and that my fear of not having money to start a staffing service should not hold me back. And so this happy little accident, it felt like a failure at the time, but very quickly dissipated. I did a good old ugly cry in my car. I called on my sisters and told them about this failure and how I felt taken advantage of, and how this doctor could quite possibly take advantage of not only me, patients in the future, but also the dental community that I loved helping. And so in that moment, I literally felt like my head was on fire. I felt like I needed to start this staffing service yesterday. And so the paycheck that I earned from that doctor that day actually became the initial investment to SubstiToothFairy Dental Staffing Service. That night, I went to Staples. I printed out what felt like a million letters saying SubstiToothFairy is opening. I printed out business cards. I Googled dental offices and did not sleep for pretty much 3 days. And until I had over 500 mailing letters stuffed and stamped saying that SubstiToothFairy was born, I did not sleep. I did not rest. I worked. And from that moment forward, I've been continuously working for the dental community. And I am so glad that God had greater plans for me than just working in that dental office where I could have possibly just been taken advantage of anyway. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been supportive of my decision to start a dental staffing service. And I just really appreciate everyone tuning into this video series. So my video series, Happy Little Accidents, nothing is a failure. It really is a happy little accident. Even when you're in the moment and it feels like a failure, God has bigger plans for you, as he did for me. So just keep believing in yourself and let your heart drive forward, because eventually you will get there. I still have big dreams for SubstiToothFairy, and I hope to create a mini series of happy little accidents in the future, continuing this story. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. And there is my series for happy little accidents.